Hello, everyone. It is a great pleasure to introduce you to a very new, brand new and exciting master's program, the MSc in Behavioral Science for Innovation and Design. My name is Vlad Glavanu. I'm full professor of psychology at Dublin City University.
And my name is Dr. Darren McCashin. I am assistant professor here at the School of Psychology in DCU.
And we are together co-creating, co-leading the program, and we're very excited to introduce you to it. So, the idea behind our new masters is that we live certainly in very uncertain, very changing, dynamic times. And we believe strongly that learners should be empowered with skills, with knowledge, with mindsets that help them develop, innovate, evaluate, and test out solutions for very pressing problems that range from individual, organizational, community-based, and societal. And a lot of these problems are actually grounded or could benefit from insights from the behavioral sciences, which is a very broad field that psychology contributes a lot to, but adds knowledge, theories, and research from things like economics and the other social sciences. So what we're hoping with this masters is actually to bring together uniquely three big components, three big themes. As the title of the master's suggests, and as we're both in the School of Psychology, we are trained as psychologists, we're trained as behavioral scientists, and this is kind of our entry point into the way we think about the program. But the program itself actually brings together behavioral science on the one hand with design and with innovation. And what we mean a little bit more about each of these. So behavioral science, again, we draw heavily on psychology, but also in an interdisciplinary way, we build on insights from a broad range of social sciences, including we are speaking to studies of technology. And with design, we're thinking about not necessarily the profession of being a designer, but design as a human activity, really. We are designers by nature because we use design thinking, or we can be trained to use design thinking. We are, whenever solving problems, thinking with our users and for our users. So users' experience is a very important topic. And obviously, issues around human-centered design are fundamental for many professions today. The innovation part is also very exciting because we have a background in many ways, creativity, innovation. And here you would be introduced to possibility studies as a very new field of research, and also learn about futures thinking and the way we can think ethically about building trustworthy futures. So this program is based in the School of Psychology, which is a young and dynamic school at Dublin City University, but it is actually a collaboration also with the School of Business. And as we grow the program, we envision collaborating across disciplines, as I mentioned. Our school hosts a number of exciting programs from undergraduate, where we have programs in psychology and mathematics or psychology and disruptive tech, up to our suite of postgraduate courses. The school is fundamentally student-centered and research-intensive. And actually, we have a variety of labs: virtual reality lab, clinical neuropsychology lab, behavioral neuroscience. And we also host the DCU Center for Possibility Studies. We are an active, dynamic community that is very much future-oriented and concerned about the future, including the future of the profession. And we host annually events around the future of psychology. And we are part of a big and exciting network in Europe called ECU, which is the Consortium for Innovative Universities. So you would have a chance to collaborate across borders as well.
So, when you're thinking about a master's in behavioral science for innovation and design, what might you be thinking about? What can you expect if you join a master's like this? Um, as my colleague Vlad mentioned, behavioral sciences really anchors a lot of the questions that we naturally ask of all these big issues that face us in society today. For example, Gen AI and loneliness, how we regulate the online world, how we ethically design new solutions to long-standing societal problems and future problems as well. To do this, we need to really look at how we can methodologically equip ourselves to be able to collaborate with others across disciplines. So this course is specifically designed to give you those types of methods a futures literacy, and the kind of core design thinking principles, with that backdrop of behavioral sciences baked into it. Crucially, being able to critically assess and apply the likes of Gen AI in such a way that is human-centered and ethically minded, that is a core component of this program as well. The collaborative, co-creative process within all of these key pillars is another very important component, and stakeholder engagement, whether that's with nonprofit, public sector, or industry. You can expect a lot of that across many of the modules, and indeed some of the projects as well. Strong communication, ethical decision-making, and problem-solving capabilities are threaded through several of the modules, where the likes of external collaboration, international or European collaboration with some of our consortiums and external networks, there'll be many opportunities to explore this. So you'll be able to draw on a range of your current skills, your current networks perhaps, and weave that into the various modules that we have. What sort of background are we looking for? So in essence, as we expect many people to be broadly interested in these big behavioral science questions and problems of the world, there's likely many different backgrounds. So in the first instance, the most important thing that we're looking for is a level 8 honors degree, typically with a higher 2-1 or equivalent. Initially across psychology, the social sciences, and the broader kind of cognate disciplines, which are not limited to the likes of health and social sciences, humanities, arts and design, education, business, engineering, and the computer sciences. Our academic structure, as you can see, subsumes a lot of the ideas that we've talked about at a high level into very specific modules that blend together these core principles of collaborative research with an eye on kind of futures thinking and all the methodologies that go with it. To briefly look at semester 1, big ideas in behavioral science. What are the lessons of the past that we can carry into the future? Design thinking, applying this in action. This is a direct collaboration with the School of Business here in DCU. Applied trust, safety, and policy, itself informed by the Stanford Teaching Consortium, which is a globally, internationally recognized and industry recognized module with respect to building in trust and safety across the technology sector. So it's an especially exciting module. Participatory and mixed methods research. So beyond just your traditional research module, how can we meaningfully blend methods in a participatory way? And turning to semester 2, weaving in design and innovation into behavioral sciences, so you can see where the integration is taking place. And then a more applied module in the imagination lab, applying this, looking to futures problems. Advances in creativity, futures, and possibility studies. So again, thinking about new and emerging disciplines in academia and how we can creatively use these to ideate and collaborate across many different themes. And finally, methods for academic and industry engagement. How can we, in an evidence-based manner, meaningfully integrate our knowledge and externally collaborate with, whether it's academia or industry or further afield? What are the specific methods, tools, and strategies that we can empower you with? That's exactly what that module will do. And most excitingly, the applied research project, which of course is year-long, starts very early on, and it allows you to think about how you can take all of this and apply it in an area that you are passionate about. And there are many different options for perhaps a traditional research project or a more creative, externally connected project. So there are many options there which you can explore.
So as you saw, our curriculum puts the emphasis both on theory and practice, and actually we lead with practice in many cases, and we have a lot of flexibility and a lot of possibilities embedded within this curriculum. The structure Dara talked about could be completed within 1 year full-time or 2 years in part-time. But besides the full master's, as it were, there are two other possibilities, depending on your interests, your time. The exit routes include a diploma. So that means all the curriculum, all the courses, with the exception of the thesis with the research component. But it also includes shorter versions, which are graduate certificates of 30 credits. So behavioral science for creativity and innovation is one of them that centers around the creativity, innovation, and futures module, together with a selection of your choosing of other modules. And the graduate certificate for behavioral science in applied trust, safety, and policy, which centers around that module with a complement from either the more conceptual or methodological courses in the program. So many of you would be wondering what happens next? What happens after completing this master's? Well, as you probably got a sense, we are very interested, keen to develop innovative mindsets, to develop problem solvers, really agile thinkers, people who engage in foresight when it comes to the very complex problems of today. And as we know very well, those who go the route of psychology, which again, you don't have to come from a psychological route necessarily, but you will learn a lot of this psychology, behavioral science as part of the program. They do not often work as therapists or clinicians, as many people would think. Actually, psychological knowledge, behavioral science is extremely important for a variety of professions. Some of them already quite established, and some of them really emerging. So in many ways, we're trying with this program to keep up with the developments in the workplace and in society. So we're looking at training behavioral scientists very broadly and consultants who would apply these insights across a variety of domains and challenges, including, as Dara was mentioning from the beginning, health and well-being or issues related to sustainability, online regulation and safety, which are enormous topics within Ireland and internationally. And also this ability to work either in academia, if that is the chosen path for you, or in the profit or non-profit sector. The second option would be an innovation manager or change manager and or strategist, which is, again, a professional category that is very much emerging. And it requires an understanding not only of managerial aspects and leadership related aspects, but this human centeredness of solutions within a context of organization. So the behavioral change component and a deeper knowledge of how we approach, solve, and basically help others as well manage change. And the third component, a third kind of possibility, and there are definitely more than three here, would be to be engaged with aspects related to user experience, UX, or human-centered design research. So here we're talking about helping design and think about products or services that basically meet the needs within society, within organizations, and as Dara was mentioning as well, very importantly for us, safeguard ethical principles. If we are training creators and innovators, those creators and innovators need to have a very strong ethical compass to deliver any of these career prospects and more. So this was it from us. We hope that we got your interest a little bit. We are excited if you were part of our very first cohort. We have to say as well that this is a small number of candidates that we're looking for. It's a small group, so you will have much more direct access to your teachers, to all the materials and possibilities for collaboration that we offer. And we hope to see you September next year. And these are our emails for anyone wanting to get in touch or anyone who has further questions.